And now in today's session, I'm going to demo three demos essentially. And we would see how we can use Codex UI application for enhancing our productivity and using it in our daily lives. So there would be three exciting demos. I hope you all would like it. And I think let's get started with the demos now. Cool, so I'll start the demo by creating like a spreadsheet. So right now, like a lot of knowledge workers have this use case where you have data across like different data sources. It could be in form of databases, it could be on your Google Drive folder, but now so many times you have to analyze all the data at one place. So now we have this kind of superpowers within the Codex where you can connect your Codex application with all the connections. It could be Slack, it could be Google Drive, and it could analyze the data for you and put it in form of a spreadsheet or even create a really good front-end website for that. So let me set up a new session over here. So I'll just go and click on the new chat and let me directly ask the Codex to do it for me. Hey Codex, can you go to my downloads folder? I have some invoices over there. Can you please analyze all the invoices over there and create a really good spreadsheet out of that? I hope it takes in all the audio. Yeah, there you go. So I'll just spin it up. It will take some like few seconds to do the work, and until that I'll go to the newer demos to showcase what else we could build. So on the next application I'm going to build like a live news application that could fetch top 10 AI news related to AI in India within 20 seconds, and in parallel also generate images using the image gen skill that we have within the Codex, and also create like a cool front end to showcase that for you. So for doing that, we just go and create a new project. Either we could create from scratch or use any existing folder. Let me create new folder for that. Hey, can you please fetch all the top latest AI news in India and also parallelly generate images for all those 10 news in parallel? And to do that, please use Agent SDK from OpenAI and build it now. Okay, I have the input, and also I'm going to link two plugins over here so that I can direct the Codex what to use when you are building this application. So the first one is the OpenAI developers plugin that we have now, and second one is the image gen skill. So what essentially I'm going to build over here, it's like a front end. I already have like built same application I think yesterday. So I've already started just so that it builds in the background. I could like command it and build it live for you. So let's go to the URL now. So here you see we have this Codex application, and on the right side we have an inbuilt browser where you could analyze your web application, your front end, and do all kind of visualization within the Codex. You don't need to go to any third-party web browser to do that. I already have it open over here. So number two, which is like really exciting. So now the agents are so capable. If specifically talking about GPT 5.5 model, one, we have like increased the context length of the model to 1 million tokens. Earlier it was around 256K, but as and when the context length of this models becomes higher, we can send more and more context to it. It can retain the memory from your past session and take more judicial action based on whatever input we have provided. So that is number one. Second, we have the reasoning skills improved in the GPT 5.5 model. We have like different layers of the reasoning, which is high, medium, and low. Based on the complexity of the task, you can set up those reasoning levels as per your requirement. Only the trade-off is when you go with like medium or a high reasoning skill, it would require more time in terms of the latency, and also the cost would be higher, but can be used for like complex workflows. For example, if you're like working for a legal firm, there are lots of documents and you need to maybe do some analysis on top of it. It might require like some high skill or extra high skill to reason around the data that you have. But if it is like a normal chat with the agent where it has to just retrieve some data from a data source and just display it on the front end, for that you could use medium skill or like low skill for the reasoning part. So that is about GPT 5.5. For all the demo that we are using GPT 5.5. But this particular application is also one example of real-time 2 API that we have recently released. It's been like around a week back, but real-time 2 now supports 70 plus input languages where your agent can now hear and also reason along as you speak and create like a audio output. So let me quickly start the demo before telling more details about it. So I'm just going to refresh the server and start the demo now. Got it. Yeah, so agent is hearing us live. Can you please go to the themes demo? Can you please switch to the dark mode? go to the forms demo, please. Okay, please enter my name. It's Arjun Gupta. My date of birth is 1995, December 28. Can you please enter my name as Arjun Gupta? My date of birth is 1990, December 28. Okay, in the notes, can you please enter my email ID? It is arjun@fake.com. Okay, please submit the form for me now. Okay, please go to the chess demo now. Can you please move F2 to F4? I would prefer English language if that's okay for you. अच्छा, मेरे को हिंदी भी आती है, क्या आप मेरे से हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं? अच्छा, तो क्या आप मेरे लिए F7, F5 पर मूव कर सकते हैं? Yeah, I'll stop the demo now, but you could see the power of real-time APIs that we have with OpenAI now. So there are a few things that I want to highlight while I showcase this demo. So Real-Time 2 has multi-language support. So a lot of our customers that we work around the globe are multilingual. Some are working in India, some are working in the US, maybe Japan, Germany. For all the languages, now we have 70 plus languages support as a part of Real-Time 2 API. So that is the first part. Second part that we have recently released with the Real-Time 2 is the reasoning skills. So since this is a speech-to-speech model, input is speech and output is also speech or audio. Now the model is like advanced enough to have reasoning capabilities. Alongside like GPT 5.5, this model also supports high, medium, lows based on the complexity of the task. So let's say now you are building voice agent for any of the company that you are working with or that you are building yourself. So you can use these voice agents where you can engage directly with the customer. Since it is speech to speech, the latency is below 400 milliseconds across the world. So that, just because of that, the engagement with the end customer that you are having is a lot enhanced now. So that is the capability 2. Capability 3 is the context length. For Real-Time 2, the context length is now 128K tokens. Earlier it was 32K, which is like 4x the number which we have now. So all because of this, we are now going to like build all these kind of agentic architecture which uses Real-Time API, and all of it is possible for you now because all of it is now GA and publicly available for anyone to use. Now I would quickly go back to my codex and see some of the commands that I've executed before. Okay, it is asking for my API key. So the OpenAI developer plugin that I have over here, so it already knows like how to create API keys for your OpenAI. It is connected with all the developer docs we have at OpenAI. So I'll just directly ask it to use the key which I have in my environment variable. Can you please use the key which I have in my environment variable for OpenAI? Okay, let's hit that off. Coming back to the spreadsheet demo that I just spinned up. So basically in my finders or the downloads folder, I have some invoices. Let's quickly go through that. So these are like some 50 invoices that I have in my downloads folder. I asked the codex to analyze this and create like a spreadsheet for that. Now let's see how we can create these spreadsheets or slides or front end for daily workflows for all the knowledge workers out there. We can directly open the spreadsheet within the codex itself, or you can use any of your like plugins that are already available, such as Microsoft Excel and all. So you could see like it has like classified all the data that were in the invoices, and it could also like generate different summaries and monthly summary and type or the audit records. So all of it is now possible like within the codex. So even you can like create lot many like charts and analysis. So I can prompt it further to do that. Can you please create like really good visualization in terms of bar charts and plot and put it in the Excel sheet? So this is like very much a conversation kind of pattern that we see in the codex. If there is some output which it has created, and if you don't like it, you just prompt it again and it will change the output. The idea over here is since we have Codex and GPT 5.5, we think of them as superpowers that are now at our disposal, that are now available to us. So we are now using Codex or building our own agents to utilize that superpower and just instruct it and guide it what to build, and all the hard work can be handled by AI. So the era is now changing where now it's more about how you best guide the AI, how you best advise the AI to build what you want instead of you just sitting, doing manual coding and wasting your time in the things which now AI could handle all by itself. Until it builds, I'll also go to the architecture diagram of the real-time voice demo that we have seen. So for all the technical folks who are available here, this is something which could display you entirely how it's like working internally. So on this part, this is the front end that we were using. From user's mic, it is taking the input. It is going to the React application for the front end. And at the back, we have the Agent SDK. So Agent SDK is the SDK which is developed by OpenAI developers, but it is open source for everyone to use and customize. So internally, what benefits does Agent SDK provide? First is the multi-agent handoff. So for example, if you're building an AI agentic application and there are, let's say, 4 different agents which are there. One could be basically for retrieving all the data from the web. Second could be like drafting maybe a document in terms of what is the report that I want to create. Third agent could be a reviewer agent which actually reviews what is written in that document, and if there is any feedback, it goes back to the drafting agent to modify it. And if everything looks good, there's like a 4th agent who publishes the content on your maybe LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever it is. So these are like 4 agents. If you want to build agentic architecture such that there are 4 agents and they are collaborating with each other, so there is like 3 ways now. One is you directly coding these different agents. It could be like a week's effort for you guys to build that architecture. Second is using open source framework like LangChain, LangGraph, Crew AI, all of it is there. But what advantage we provide with OpenAI Agent SDK, it is all built on the OpenAI architecture. So for example, the speed of development at which OpenAI is operating, it's more like every 6 weeks we are releasing new model, because we just want to make sure the feedback that we are getting all across the world, we just embed it into the model and bring better models for the world. So at the rate at which the models are changing is very rapid, and for any developer like you, it might be difficult to understand what parameters the model accepts, what kind of reasoning changes are there. So all of it is just embedded into the Agent SDK so that you just focus on building the application and not deal with the logic which goes inside building the software for building your agentic architecture. Second point I want to highlight, when the collaboration comes between, when the agent collaborate with each other, there is a lot of data sharing, data collaboration. So now you don't have to take care of that because it is handled by Agent SDK out of the box. Third thing is, for some long-running tasks, there might be requirement where you have to create spreadsheets, and it might take, let's say, 30 minutes of your time, or 1 hour of your time. With Agent SDK, we provide out of the box some dynamic containers. For example, you want to spin up a spreadsheet and collect lots of data into that. It will automatically spin up a container within OpenAI architecture, and then do the work and just finish it and get back with the response. So you don't need to like take care of all the infra for the deployment of these dynamic containers. So all of it is part of the Agent SDK, and also it comes with like some guardrails, logging mechanism. So all of it is handled. So that's why we generally recommend, if you are building on top of OpenAI, go with the Agent SDK and save your time. So again, coming back to the real-time demo, so this is user, this is the front end, this is the Agent SDK. Behind the scene, Agent SDK is working with the real-time API, it is working with GPT 5.5, and then we have real-time Whisper as well, which is generally for transcription of your audio. Let's say I give an input audio, it needs to like transcript it so that it could display what's happening on the front end. So yeah, majorly that is about the architecture that we have for the real-time API. Coming to the architecture of the second one, which is news application, I won't take like a lot of time, but quickly, in the backend, what's happening, it's calling image API. So let's say you are building some application, which is for like content generation industry. You need to generate like cool graphics or cool assets for your thing that you are publishing. Integrated with like Agent SDK, we have the support for image API. For example, you've given a response, I want to generate 10 images for Mumbai Tech Week event that I recently attended. In parallel, it could spin up 10 agents, which could generate images for you, get back and display it in the front end or save it in your file system. So that is about the image API. And this, again, the whole architecture was built using Agent SDK. So I think the news application building part is still live, but parallel to that, I want to demo one cool feature as well, which works in Codex now. So we have the goal feature. So how many of you know exactly what is goal in Codex? Yeah, I see some of the hands. I think only one person who is part of the OpenAI teams knows about that. But goal feature is a very special feature which we have introduced in the Codex application. So if there's any long-running task which might run, let's say, for 6 hours straight, you can just pass the goal to the Codex application. Let's say we are building a news application. In form of image, I can generate a very cool UI and ask the Codex, you have to keep working up till you match 95% of the similarity based on the screenshot that I have given to you. So it'll keep the QA loop active and analyze the screenshot that I have given, analyze the front end which I have given, check the similarity. If it is greater than equal to 95%, that is the stopping criteria. So that is the place what we can define using the goal feature that we have in Codex. So let's quickly maybe give some goal and see how it works. I want to keep improving the application until it reaches a goal to fetch AI news within 10 seconds. So as we could see, whenever we spin up a goal command, so there is a pursuing goal tag that we see on the bottom of the panel where it keeps on working on the goal, and it also displays how much time it has been taken to reach to that goal. So mostly that was a feature I wanted to introduce, which is about goal. And then we have lot of automation plugins and all. Just because of the shortage of the time for this demo, I can't go with all the features that we have in the Codex UI application, but I just wanted to give you an overarching idea how beneficial the Codex application could be for you in all the knowledge worker use cases that you might have, whether it be creating spreadsheets, slides, analyzing a whole plethora of data set that you might have, build some really cool UI application. Not only that, it could control your computer. We have the computer use skills as we have seen in the real-time demo. It could click on the exact pixels as you instruct the agent to do. So there's a lot of things now which is possible for you. Just install the Codex UI application, experiment with that, and if you have not already done, once you experience it, only then you could know what superpower is now available to all of us, which is open source and available to everyone. So I think that's about the demo. Just to get into the more technical detail, we have one more session which would be hosted by my teammate Swagata. So I would request everyone, if you want to get in more technical details, please join the session. That would be about it. Thank you, everyone. Bye.